Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of FCM. You already know what time it is. Your host, your most Maiwa. To my left, they call him the cult hero, Culture Cams. And to my right, the one and only Fuad Kadani. You already know what time it is. It's been a hype Sunday, big fixture, big vibes, but we've got big energy today. So before we go into the 3-point collectors, listen, we've got to big up. We've got to big them up. We got a big
tight.
Hold
new
tight.
Sponsors.
Hold tight. The new sponsors, collectors.
I can't even lie. I couldn't even wait. I already cracked one of these.
What, you boxed it ready?
Yeah.
Listen, man.
Celsius.
I needed that.
Celsius. Listen, hold tight. The energy collector. Listen, Celsius Energy finally landed in the UK. Finally. Long overdue. And it's a range of 4 refreshing different flavors. I have got peach vibe. Cams has gone for cosmic
vibe. That's the fruit burst. The fruit burst.
You got peach vibe as well. Obviously, we got the fantasy vibe as well. We got the sunset vibe as well.
They're saying apparently there's a bunch of premium ingredients and vitamins in here as well, which are perfect for including caffeine. No sugar as well, apparently. So I can't even lie to you. You know me. I'm always coming in needing energy. Always got a little something. This is gonna carry me
exactly,
perfectly.
bro. This guy. Finally, you know what I mean? You know, energy drink is actually fitting because this guy, what is it, walking monster?
Honestly.
We don't associate with those other brands no more. They got Celsius, you know what I mean? They got me covered now, and you guys can be covered as well. There's a special link in the description. If you guys click it, you can also pick up anywhere, Tesco Express, Pure Gym for some of you that are there as well, but Amazon also have an exclusive discount code, and it's only available whilst we're live. Big up the new friends of the show. Celsius.
No, listen, this is made for the 3-point collectors. It's made for those that live a live fit lifestyle. It's made for the energy crew. So make sure you go
and even if you ain't collected any points,
you can still grab a little something. You get me? To make you feel a bit merry. Make you feel a bit merry. Listen, man. On that note, hold tight. The 3-point collectors in the building, wherever you are, worldwide.
It's a couple weeks in a row now, you know. A couple weeks in a row. This is getting me.
Fair enough.
Forgot how it feels, man.
Hold tight the participants as well. It takes 2 to tango.
Hey, for real.
And
it ain't easy.
Yeah, man. Let's get into it. Big fixture. We have the champions, the current champions versus what I would say is now champions elect.
Champions elect.
This. Right to say. This was, you know, the coronation. The sort of the we bow down.
This was going to be the week, I think, if everybody wanted to kind of ask serious questions of Liverpool, it was going to be this week. I think throughout the season, they've been kind of questioned with injuries. Can they handle it if players go down? We've seen Curtis Jones step up. We've seen Kelleher step up. We've seen Gomez step up. We've seen even at right back when Trent went down. Bradley, he stepped in as well. Yeah. And then it was, can you handle it in the Champions League as well as the Premier League? Slapped up Madrid. Slapped up Leverkusen, slapped up AC Milan. Then it was like, okay, now when you come to the Premier League, can you face the big dogs? And midweek, they drew 2-2, and people were like, oh, there's an opportunity here. Can someone else take it? And they left that door open a little bit. And to be fair, they could have even walked away with winners. Darwin Núñez obviously put away his chances. But then this was going to be the game where, all right, City at the Etihad haven't won there, I think, since 2017, 2016 in the league. So it was kind of, you know, if you're going to do it, this is going to be the tie. And although City, you could say in this game, they had moments in possession where you kind of thought they could create something. Man. Liverpool snuffed that out real quick. And Mohamed Salah, when it looks like it's your time, brother. And this season is going to be remembered as this season. Walks away, obviously, with a goal and assist. But even his performance throughout the game, I thought was really good today. And Liverpool walk away today, as you said, feeling like champions elect, and rightly so in my opinion, because they've done everything right in this season so far. I think you look at Arne Slot, it's his first season coming into the Premier League, only 1 defeat so far, and we're in.
It's mad, isn't it?
We're at the end of February, bro. And I think people expected there to be an adaptation period. You know, once Klopp leaves, there's going to be a drop off, like we've seen with all the other great managers. But this is a credit to Slot as a manager. This is a credit to the players where there hasn't been a lot of turnaround over the summer or even in January, and they've managed to raise that level from last year where they were nearly there, but now they're showing, hey, we can cross that finish line, and they're showing it week by week.
What is it? 11 points now?
11 points
on
now,
but goal game in hand.
Yep.
Yeah. My biggest takeaway from this was, I think as the narrative of the season was building and it was clear that City were not going to compete.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people thought it would be Arsenal's year to capitalise. I have to credit Liverpool for getting the get back. They got it back in blood. Like if you think about what City have done to Liverpool in recent years, whether it was that season back, they made them win so many games only to beat them. The domination, 4 out of 5 seasons winning it. This was the perfect get back. This was sort of, you are now going to watch us run away into the sunset, and there's nothing you can do. You have a KDB who's usually like the killer in this game, nullified. You have a moment where they brought their Egyptian king. It's like, that's all right, we packed that thing too. Our Egyptian king is the king of all kings.
He's a prince.
He's a prince.
He's a prince.
He's not got to that stage
Watch
yet.
Big Dog do his thing. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to say.
So I think it was a perfect moment to sort of showcase that, yeah, we didn't forget what we went through. And you have to remember, if you look at how this squad's adapted, I'm not talking about player quality, but you've lost the Hendos, the Wijnaldums, the sort of generals in those change rooms at that time. You've got a Van Dijk who's a new version of Van Dijk. You've got a Salah who's rejuvenated. It's quite refreshing to see them get back and move forward with it. So,
mate, if I was them, I would have been knee sliding at the Etihad. What's going on? Everyone was too respectful, bro. What are you saying? You man stop us on some historic seasons, bro. I'll be knee sliding. I'll be overclapping in the stadium. Yo, what the hell?
you know what you're saying? Yeah, it actually reminds me of something. Obviously, we've got Celsius with us. We're going to introduce something while Celsius with us, which is the Celsius Player of the Match award. And it's the person that gave the most energy. And I want to see if you've got 3 nominations for this. Like 3 players that we can nominate that gave Vim energy today. For me, we've got to put Mo Salah there. Goal and assist.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I think, listen, comments, get involved as well.
Yeah.
I feel like this is an opportunity for you guys to get involved as well. Celsius Player of the Game, should we
Player of
call
the
it?
game. Celsius Player of the game.
Yeah.
The person that gave the most Vim, the most energy.
You know what? I know you said Salah. I'm going to go Szoboszlai. I think Szoboszlai. I feel like he has been really good over the past couple of weeks, and a lot of his off the ball work goes under the radar today. Obviously, goal and assist as well. I feel like he deserves his flowers, and I know obviously. I'll
go with. Well, you guys went to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Just to give some balance. I think the best player for City today was probably Jeremy Doku, you know? Like,
gave a lot of Vim.
bro, the man,
he was talking about energy.
He was making history, bro. He was taking on Trent every single time he could, and obviously, look, one of the best players was either Salah or Szoboszlai, or even one of the centre backs for Liverpool. They were cutting out so many crosses.
Can't lie.
But I think, just for the City side, I was entertained watching Doku today, so I'm just going to put him in there.
You know who I liked? Kusanov as well. I can't lie. I thought today he was decent.
Kusanov?
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah. Can't lie. I think City got one there. I know you maybe a little bit on the fence there.
I don't know if he gave energy like the other 3,
No,
but he gave
definitely.
something.
But I just want to give him an honourable mention. I see the
You
work
think
you're
City
doing,
have
brother.
got him there, yeah?
Keep grinding, brick by brick.
City have got one.
Based on these comments, I can't tally up quickly, but everyone's saying...
It's got to be Mo Salah.
No, everyone's saying Dom.
Dom Szoboszlai, yeah?
Everyone's saying Dom.
The energy.
Let Dom get his flowers.
The energy. I mean, it suits.
The energy man himself. He was in defence, he was in attack.
Yeah.
So Dominic Szoboszlai has made history. He's
and I feel
like
the role he's playing as well is so different to what I think Liverpool fans were expecting when he signed.
They thought he was going to be
He was expecting essentially Bruno Fernandes 2.0. Guy who's going to contribute goals from midfield, and which today obviously he did, but maybe more frequently. You were going to see 40-yard screamers and 30-yard free kicks, but I think it's been a pleasant surprise almost how he has evolved this game, because last year I thought he was miles off it. Like 70 million they paid for you. You almost were a net negative in certain games with the amount of times he gave the ball away. But this season under Slot, this is credit to Slot's coaching as well, where he has the same group of players, but he has actually managed to improve some players individually. We've always spoken about Gravenberch, but I think Szoboszlai is another one this season who has improved massively compared to last year.
Hey, listen, man. The first ever Celsius Energy Player of the Game award.
This is to you, brother.
I feel like Stone Cold Steve
The
Austin,
one's there.
bruh.
In ode to your homage to to Henderson. You are the man with the energy. Listen, like we said, you can get Celsius everywhere. Tesco Express, Amazon, Pure Gym. If it's good enough for Declan Rice, it's good enough for you, man. Make sure you smash that link as well. Whilst we're live. Yeah,
Sam might actually grab it because of that line now.
Listen, you know like that. But I want to read out a super chat quickly because this person sent a 20 sheet. Hamza, big you up.
Aye, big up.
For the 20 sheet, Hamza says, Salah just dropped a Hall of Fame performance. 2 goals and assists, but he was unstoppable today. FCM, talk about the Egyptian king.
Talk. Mr. Gusmo.
Wait, hold on, wait a second.
Mr.
Why the hell
Gusmo.
you guys just look at me?
Mr. Gusmo.
Yeah. For me,
because these are the types of games man are talking about.
You see, and then this is when
turn up with the big dogs.
You see what they do
when it's time to win the titles.
You see when they do this.
Yeah?
Then this is
they rock up.
This is when ruin everyone's mood.
I'm just saying. They want to be they want to be discrediting man all the time. But when it's time to talk, they want to go silent.
Somebody has to be a bad guy, right?
Good smoke, yeah.
This is the thing. They're gonna make me talk, and then no one's gonna be happy in this building. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me be in a good mood, bro. Let me be in a good mood. Don't draw me out, and I'll be in a good mood. Now, honestly though, even forget about just today. Today was just a small, what's the word?
Sample.
Fragment, a small sample of what he's been doing all season. He's carrying Liverpool's attack. When you look at what Liverpool, and the thing is, it's not a carry there's different carry jobs that you've seen, but this one is just very kind of, anytime the ball gets to Salah within the final third, a chance is happening or a goal. It's like nearly guaranteed. Something's being created. You know what I mean? A shot is coming off. A chance is for somebody else. So when I'm looking at him, I'm just like, this is decisive. That's the best word for me this season for Salah. It's decisive, bro. Deciding big games, deciding small games, popping up in moments when Liverpool need it. Whether he's playing good, whether he's playing bad, Salah's making history at the moment because it's going to look like he's going to get 30 goals. It's going to look like he's going to get 20 assists. So he's having, statistically, it'll be the best season we've seen in the Premier League. So I think that, honestly, you lot will laugh at the acronym and stuff that I said, but that literally is what he is. He's about to have the greatest statistical season in Premier League history.
What's the acronym again?
Good smoke.
I wanted to quickly say he's the first Premier League player to have 2 40-goal contribution seasons, which is immense. But
doing this at 32, by the way,
crazy.
as well. I don't want that to be overlooked.
Yeah.
Bro, that guy's got like 0% body fat,
bro. But
his body's at 22.
I think I mentioned it earlier in the season as well, and I said I think it gets overlooked physically how good and how well he's looking after himself. He doesn't pick up many injuries, bro. As you said, body fat percentage on what? But it's how he's always ready and available. He doesn't even like coming off.
You have to credit the manager as well, though.
100%. And the thing is with Arne Slot, you've seen certain games where he's rested Trent in that red zone, but Salah always wants to be out there. And I think at the age of 32, when players start typically declining or slowing down, and I think especially a player who's relied on his explosiveness, relied on his speed, I think people are always quick to see the decline begins, and it's almost like every season since he's turned 30, everyone's waiting for that. This is the season Salah's going to fall off. This is the season, but he never does.
I don't want to flip it to the other side, but because you're mentioning 32, I think in football we're seeing a lot of players even fall off before they get to 30 because of the way the game is played.
No, it's because most of them started younger.
Yeah, most of them
at the top level.
Yeah. And then you're playing so much. It's like, again, we don't speak about KDB now, but you look at KDB's performance there, and it's like that's someone's legs who are short. So it's great that not only is Salah in a place where he can perform, the manager is enabling him to perform. But what I really like about where Salah is right now as well is, I think sometimes when you're in a position where there's a lot of attention on you, the contract thing was a massive thing. And yes, he did the pictures and everything, but he's put his head down, he's performed. No one can take that away from him. I think it's quite interesting now that you said it could be the greatest statistical season ever. How do you not give someone the money based on what they're performing? It's very
probably don't know what's going on behind the scenes. He's probably going to sign it.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's
impossible not to give him the money he wants. If you're having the greatest statistical season we've seen in the Premier League,
I think that's why you've probably heard less about it in the last month or so. And to be fair, I think Slot has handled it pretty well. Where every time they've asked him in the press, he said, "Bro, we're not talking about contracts." So Both him and Salah have kind of nipped that in the bud. I
But
think
you have
now
to give
it's
him
allowed
credit
him.
for that.
Say that
because you have to give Salah credit for the performance. Because it's one thing to be demanding money, and then
of course, you got to back your chat. You have to back your chat. If you're gonna talk that talk of I want to be here, I want to win something, cool, show us then. And he's put them in a
players
position
in contract
where
years.
they have to.
I mean, Salah's OP already. Like, he's an overpowered player already. Now in a contract year, he's about to do something. He's about to do something spooky. I saw Rashford go from decent contract year, man started doing this, and he gave me 30. You know what I mean? So what's Salah gonna do? You know what I mean?
Adebayo used to be the king of that. When it got to December, Adebayo,
Yeah,
the contract was on the line.
But that's the thing. Like, I think personally, right? Like, I've seen some brilliant carry job titles. I don't know where this one would rank. Now, I'm not saying anyone else isn't doing their thing. There's no such thing as a carry job if you actually. It's 11 people on the pitch. Of course, yeah. I mean, there's no such thing. But just in the term of like carry job, I think this is up there with a lot of the carry jobs in terms of.
Isn't that 60% of the goals have come from?
I don't even know. Even without even seeing the even without seeing the stats, like just eye test wise on what he's doing on the pitch. I'm talking about it's not about like 60%. I don't know how many percentage RVP contributed to our title. I don't know. The importance of what he's offering. It's definitely up there. It's up there top 5 in terms of carry, like one guy contributing to a title. I think he's up there top 5.
Saying top 5, naturally, I'm going to have to ask you what other ones come to mind.
Van Persie, 100%. He walked us to the title.
Yeah.
I think that's up there. I think it's crazy because in the second half of the season, I think he took over. I think Hazard in 14-15 in that second half of the second season. And you've got to be an incredible outfit to do Invincible. I can't give one man the credit for Invincible. That's a bit too much. Van Nistelrooy in 2003, he carried 96. Us. Shearer obviously I didn't get to see that season, but do you know what I mean? I think there's some that are significant.
In terms of title winning seasons,
Cristiano,
is there CR year in there?
The 08.
You can
look at some of the other players around him. He was doing this thing.
Because the thing is, a lot of carry jobs don't ultimately go into a title. What, Haaland? Are you talking about Haaland?
No. To be fair, it was a 2-man step, but Vardy.
No, it's not a carry job.
No. That's a 2-man.
It was a 2-man step.
With Kante as well. Wait, you're forgetting Kante as well. That's a 3-man step.
Yeah, it's a 3-man step still.
Drink water. We're just gonna forget that. Yeah,
come on. Still. No, but the goals he was scoring, he was the outlet. Like, how many goals was it consecutive that he scored?
I think it was 9 or 11.
No. He did 11.
11
That's a big step.
11. Yeah,
that's a big step.
Nah, 100%. He made the dream alive. You know what I mean? But because a lot of the times, carry jobs don't lead to titles.
Yeah.
Bale didn't lead to a title. Suarez didn't lead to a title. Wayne Rooney 09-10 didn't lead to a title. I mean, if we won the league that year, that would have been up. Harry Kane's probably had a few. Like, they don't often lead to titles, so there's not going to be some extensive list. But I think there is a few, and I think I'll put Salah just off the top of my mind.
It's a good conversation. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let me read some of these super chats quickly as well. My guy Steven says, "Get that Celsius bag, boys."
Hey, big up my guy Steven as well, man.
Cliver says,
people saying Yaya Toure 13-14.
Did he carry? Was it? That is one from deep, and that is actually factual, bro. That season he was unplayable.
He was. And
Aguero was still there.
The goals were literally carries. He was carrying it.
No. Great shout.
That was the year that he got player of the season that year. Was that this?
13-14. Suarez got
it. That's when people thought he was wrong, didn't it? That was a carry.
Yeah, it was a close battle.
Clivert said, "Hold tight, the mighty Reds. I'll see y'all at the parade in May." Philogene Foden, by the way, get that gun on safety, man. That's funny. We were speaking during watching the game, because we were watching the game together, about watching players not be themselves. Like watching City, it's like you're watching ghosts of themselves. I joked and said that KDB was looking at Paul Dickoff out there. We were saying that Phil Foden was hiding from receiving the ball. Do you think that a massive part of where City are is that they're completely short of confidence, and that, or do you want to make your Pep Guardiola point and that do you think that the era might have changed now?
I think he's acknowledged that the era has changed. Obviously, his side is declining. Whatever, confidence, physically, the best players are not the best players anymore. That's natural. That's the natural evolution. Maybe if he looks back at it, maybe some of the academy players that left, maybe some of the recruitment could have been done to anticipate this moment. But look, City have been dominating for 8 years. So they're gonna get their grace in terms of bowing out like this. But I do think there is a change in football now. You know what I mean? Football is going towards, and Pep said it himself in the recent interview, we can't compete because we're not as athletic, we're not as strong, we're not as fast, we're not as big physically. And I think that's the way the game is going. And I think what made Pep Guardiola so special was how he manipulated football with the possession, the highly technical players, them short little jinky players like Bernardo and Mahrez and Iniesta and Xavi, and now we're moving into a whole new era. So what made Pep special, what made Pep unique was what he brought into the game. Now we're going into a new era. This could be when now Pep seems human, bro. Like, Pep didn't usher this. Then that's what Ferguson, and that's why Ancelotti are so good. They saw so many eras and lived in them.
Combine them.
Now I think this is the first time we're going to see Pep enter a new era and see, okay, what's going on here. And I think this is, you can think he's the GOAT already if you want, but this is going to be another layer into seeing his managerial level. I think so.
I think you're seeing that with a couple of teams in the Premier League anyway, with teams like Newcastle, I think of Forest, I think of Brentford, I think of, where they can play the physical smash mouth football and be difficult to break down. But then ask them to play football, and they will as well, and they will match you for the pass for pass, and we can go. And that's what you're seeing a little bit at Everton, even since Moyes has come back in. It's like, we'll talk on the West Ham game in a little bit as well, but that's what you saw yesterday from West Ham, where they'll be difficult to break down, but physically they'll match you. But then technically the gap isn't that far as well, and they've actually closed that gap.
That's that PMP meets Jinky era.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you look at number 10s, you look at all this stuff now, like they're all different. It's exactly the game has changed now, and listen, I'm not saying Pep created the game of football, but you can give him the last 15 years as the Pep era, right?
You said you had the last 15, the next 5 is ours.
Who wants to take the next one? But like, you can give him that credit of being the influence of the last 15 years, but in that way he dominated world football in a certain way, and everybody copied that style. Now all of a sudden you're just getting a few managers, you're getting a few teams that are like, we don't want to do that way, we're going to do it this way. And now I think this is the first time Pep is going to have to adapt to others. Everyone adapted to Pep. This is the first time Pep Guardiola is going to look around and be like, the game has changed, let me adapt to others, and let's see how he does.
Because maybe even you could say, with the fact that they're not able to go into the window and sign players that are immediately going to take them so technically clear above the rest.
Where are you getting them from?
That's the thing. The market is even harder.
Where are you getting another David Silva? Another KDB?
You know the point you made?
It's not easy.
Right, so like, that point is so vivid, yes, because even during this like era of like where he will thrive and everything, like, remember like the Conte little patch where everyone went 5 at the back. He still managed to adopt that into his own thing. So that there was trends. Pep. It was like 5 at the back. That's cool. We can do that.
It wasn't influential enough though.
No, but it took over.
If he remember, he did it when Pep just entered. Pep was like, hurry up with your 1 year thing. Now let me just.
I can't lie though. Let me say though, a lot of managers definitely did start going 3 at the back.
Bro,
they did.
Because they almost
the legacy was still here.
We've got the antithesis of what Pep plays, and it was like Pep found a little loophole. I can do it too. I can do it as well.
So it's funny, man. Let me go through the rest of these super chats. So we've got interesting one from Richard Jordan says, is this the worst Prem season ever? Surely based on lack of quality in the league, it's up there. Liverpool are average. The team
move on.
Counts those are
cool. No, it's whatever.
They've been complaining about this.
About to read from 1964 from newspaper of them saying the same thing, right?
They've been saying the same shit since the 70s, bro. Right. I've got evidence. They've been saying the game is broken, teams are washed, individuality is gone. Bro, you're all repeating the same stuff. You'll be here next weekend to enjoy it. Sit down and shut up.
But at the same time, though, it's worth a debate, but not now. It looks like you're just trying to pop down.
Every year it happens, bro.
My take on it is that we've often said, I think the level of competitiveness in the Premier League has increased. Because, as you said, the level is getting higher between everyone else. There's not like...
But I think the top end's getting lower.
So it's competitive. Because there's not a big gap anymore.
And I don't think people like that.
Yeah,
People
but you
don't
should.
like the mid-pack closing.
I like the fact
they want
that-
the big ones to stay big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then they also,
that is I.
but then guess what? They will also complain about the European Super League.
Nah, I changed.
Which way do you want?
Gary Neville almost jinxed me there, bro. I had to do my own research. I was like, hey, Neville, kick rocks, man. You know what I mean? Bring me the Super League, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, Aaron Paul K says Salah is the front runner for the Ballon d'Or, but the journalists will find a way not to give it to him. Thoughts?
I think it comes down to the Champions League, honestly.
I do agree.
Hey. As good as Salah's doing in the league, I do think it's going to come down to if Salah, and we're saying Salah as if he's the only player, but if Liverpool get knocked out of the Champions League against PSG in the last 16, Mo Salah can score 60 goals in the league. He will not win.
Let me
Vinny
not lie
does
to you.
what
That's
he
just
did.
the way it is.
Let me not
Vinny
lie
does
to
what he did last year in the Champions League.
You're saying,
Bro,
you're saying Vinny.
guys,
You're saying Vinny.
Mbappe-
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Mbappe as well.
Bro.
There's Bellingham as
No,
well.
but even that,
Come on.
Mbappe, Salah just scored today to make it 30 goals. Mbappe has 28 goals.
Yeah.
Where the hell did them 28 goals come from?
Ever
This is the
since when we
season
sent
of
him to
Salah's
court,
like, Mbappe-
when we sent him to court, he
Listen.
found form.
Hey, don't jump yet. We've got a Champions League. We've got a
Say
Champions
no
League run
more.
to go on.
Say no
He's in
more.
trouble.
No,
I'm not.
I cannot wait. I'm not.
He's in trouble. Nah, but literally, like, you know the way the game is. They look at the stats. They look at the numbers. No one's gonna talk about Mohamed Salah. No one's gonna talk about Mbappe. Had a poor start to the season.
They're just gonna
look at.
matter
Oh,
of fact.
hold on. He's got 40 goals and he's in the
Business end of the
Champions League
season.
semi-final.
Yep.
And he scored in the quarter-final second leg. Oh man, he might be the Ballon d'Or front runner. I think it's gonna come down to whoever
Especially
masters
if
the Champions
Madrid
League.
go on to like win the league.
Listen, and let me be so real with you. You know the Madrid PR machine is so the cinematic shots.
They
the
failed
all-white
this
kit.
year. You think they're gonna fail again?
Bro, listen. Medical Bunker says, Yo, Cams, we're back on our perch. How you feeling? I'm guessing he's a Liverpool fan.
Crazy, man. This is crazy. Do you know what, though? Well done. It's about time. We went from 7 to 20 before they even clapped back once. Ferguson had to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Now they feel like big dogs. You know what I'm saying? Well done, mate. Well done.
Shy One says, Pool win their 20th while United are in your relegation battle. I'll let you...
What did he say? What was it? What did he say?
Pool are about to win their 20th whilst United are in the relegation battle.
Hey, you guys know how it feels, man.
Tough
you guys saw
time.
us winning stuff while you guys are hanging around 11th
Yeah,
and 10th.
but relegation
with
battle,
Aquilani
bro.
and them man there, bruv.
Tough times last.
Yeah, you would know.
Tough times last.
Yeah, you would know, mate.
Tough
You-
times last.
Oh, man.
They said they never last. They last.
Oh, my gosh. Cool. Obviously, if we're talking about Liverpool, we have to talk about the title challenge.
KDB.
Sorry?
KDB.
Yeah, well, let's quickly speak on...
I want to give a standing ovation for KDB, though.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
No, I want to... Wait.
It's long overdue. You gave him some
Robbie,
respect.
listen,
Finally.
like, I'm sure the
You
cleaners will
saying?
come.
You saying you're gonna pour one out for the homies? Hey, chill. I'm trying to flood the studio.
We listen. It's that's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Hashtag thank you.
Thank you.
You've got to
I like
just,
this.
you know what I mean.
Thank
you look
you.
at what he's given to the Premier League.
Thank you.
For me, I think the greatest player of his era in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the quality. You look at the titles that they've won. You look at his contribution. You look at the way he was assisting, his assist numbers, everything about him. Left foot, right foot, big games. That game against Wolves, 4 goals when City needed someone to drive them to the title. And now we're just seeing what you see with great players, man. Like, I know everyone's going to slander him and stuff, but you're just seeing
Respect.
what you see from legendary players. Eventually their time comes, and I know you're probably thinking, well, he's the same age or just a year. I don't know what the year is between him and Salah, but
the mileage
bro,
is
we know KDB's been on that Haribo diet. He's been on that since he was 20. You know what I mean? We know KDB's been on that.
I
He's
knew
on
there
that
had to
same.
be something.
He's on that Harry
knew
Kane
there had to be
Haribo
something.
diet. The only thing is,
I knew there had
the
to be
only
something.
thing.
You're supposed to be praising
Yeah,
him.
no, I'm just saying, let me just pivot quickly. You know KDB's on that Haribo diet that Kane was on. Only thing is he just had some crazy genetic where he had that PMP. That's the only difference. KDB, I always knew you were going to be here eventually, bruh. Just like Wayne Rooney. We knew you were going to get here eventually.
top of the mountain.
But
Alright, cool.
He's one of the greatest players we've ever seen, and you got to pay respect.
Now I'll pay my respects because you disrespected him there.
I'm just saying.
KDB, thank you for everything, man. Like everything. Thank you for the impact. Thank you for the legacy you've created for the youth. The reason why we're doing this thank you now is because I think it's important to remember people whilst in the moment. Because what happens with footballers now is when you start seeing the decline, people start to rewrite history and narratives and start to say, oh, he's finished, he's a dud. No, Father Time catches up on everyone. So thank you for your services.
And you know what? I want to thank you, Chelsea, as well. Thank you for allowing him and fumbling him allowing him to go to Wolfsburg, to then cement himself in the Bundesliga once again, to come to the Premier League and absolutely terrorize it for the next 7 years.
Thank you, KDB. Come on, chat.
Thank
Come
you,
on,
KDB,
chat.
man.
Let's be nice people today. We're giving out flowers
the
today.
greatest midfielder in Premier League history. He's seen it all. He's done it all. He's won it all.
You know we're giving out the flowers today, man.
Hey.
KDB, man, thank you.
I'm sure when he leaves, we'll do another
do
one.
a
But
proper one.
I felt like today was a proper. I looked at him today and I said,
It was sad.
Yeah. Get that man. So
They thought it was going to be a slander
bro,
session.
no. He started actually playing like 0506 Roy Keane, bro. I was like, yo.
Pull dick off, man.
Yeah, just before the Celtic move. You know when Keane was just before the Celtic move, I was like,
final year Gerrard.
yeah.
Yes, man.
It's that Stoke game, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Hashtag thank you KDB in the chat, please. Show your respects.
KDB.
Let them smell the flowers whilst
real.
they can. Let's segue to Arsenal, because of course we can't talk about title race without talking about their involvement this weekend. I mean, if they'd won, you would have thought there was still something within this title race. But I think Carragher said it really well. Even if Liverpool were to falter now, there's not enough people within their ranks. And I said something a few weeks ago and I got slandered for it. Then Rio Ferdinand said it and everyone was like, oh yeah, that's all right. I sat there and I said, in my humble opinion, based on what I've seen from Ethan Nwaneri and Lewis Skelly, red card up separate, the injection that they brought into the team when they did was very useful. But they could have done with that a few weeks before. I feel like Arteta's biggest downfall this year was, one, he didn't bring them in soon enough, and two, you can't look at that window and not bring in anyone. That's gross negligence.
I think he would have wanted to bring someone in.
No, but he's so specific about who he wants to bring in. It's clear. It's clear that he would have wanted to bring in a specific player. That's why. Who's it that they signed in for the summer now? Zubimendi. Is it Zub?
I actually don't know what. Is that deal actually
I don't
real?
know,
Like,
bro, that was just paper talk,
Ornstein
bro.
bust it not too early?
I haven't seen nothing official.
Why did you go with that
We'll
first?
see.
Sorry.
We'll see, I guess.
But that's what they're saying. They're saying that he's signed. Obviously, that would make sense because that's specific to what Arteta
I mean,
wants.
bro,
But
when you're going into a game with Marino as your number 9, who obviously last week came off, did what he needed to do, 2 goals, could have left it 3 to be fair, but you're thinking that smells like trouble already. And you already knew they was having kind of attacking issues, but West Ham, once again, in another season, another year where they're turning up to your house and derailing your entire title hopes. And I think especially with Liverpool dropping points midweek, that's where the bigger frustration is for a lot of these Arsenal fans, because you're thinking every time this season Liverpool have dropped points, there has been a small gap to take it, and Arsenal have one way or another dropped the results, and then you're kind of thinking you're shooting yourself in the foot essentially. And then the game, I'll be honest with you, I thought West Ham deserved everything they walked away with, because Bowen, for me, could have easily walked away with not 1, 2, 3 potentially.
My boy.
I thought Kudus did absolutely his best to absolutely run riot in that midfield as well.
Can you mention Scales, please?
And I can't lie to you, Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back as well, incredible game. And since he has come to West Ham, it's almost like the typical thing of when a player leaves United, there's a breath of fresh air in his play. All of a sudden, he seems confident on the ball. He's doing 1-2s. He's taking a man on. Nobody asks you.
57 games into the season, dog. It's the first time I've heard anyone talk about anything.
No, you're a liar.
Let me watching West Ham. Let me watching West Ham. He has been cooking all season. He has been doing his thing.
That youngster Scars played really well as well. I was like, is this Reece Oxford all over again? Is this Declan Part 2? I was like, fair play.
And I think Graham Potter, obviously, past couple of weeks, he hasn't got a win since I think Fulham won early. But that was like the way they played. It wasn't a backs to the wall job. We're going to absorb the attack and hopefully get something on the counter. When they got on the ball, they were actually really good. They had moments to kind of break out, and they had chances as well.
But you said something here, and I think for me, that's the story of Arsenal. You mentioned during the season, they have failed to capitalise on when Liverpool slipped. Strategically, they have failed to capitalise on City not being where they are, on the window. That is just Arsenal at the moment, where it's like, if you want to win something, you have to do something. You have to take that bold step. It might not be the right player, but I think you have to do something. Bro, there's no way that anyone can say to me personally that...
Who are you talking about? Arteta or Kroenkes?
I'm talking about, it's a combination of the two. It's a marriage. Because for me, if Arteta specifically wants a certain player and the player's not available, you got to tell your manager and say, listen, if you want to win something here, you got to get someone in. There's no way you can look at that squad. Bro, if people online are saying Havertz is going to rip his hamstring in 2 weeks, he's playing every single game, the manager, they've got everything there. You can't rely on it's mad that you say that the attribute I love about Havertz is he's durable, and in 2 weeks his hamstring's gone. Like, you've got, come on, man.
but
Like,
you know
there's got to be accountability somewhere. That Arsenal, on several occasions for me, have failed to take initiative or capitalize on moments. That's the story of their project.
I agree with what you're saying, and I think that's a Kroenke thing. And you know, when everyone was praising Josh Kroenke, I was actually saying, like, listen, I wouldn't give the Kroenkes too much praise just yet. You know what I mean? Until they actually show they can help you guys get over the line. But I do think these narratives that we talk about Arsenal, we're often saying Arsenal. We're saying the club. We have to talk about the pitch sometimes. And I think Arteta, right? And there is individuals we'll speak about as well. But I do think Arteta, we are kind of giving him a bit too much leeway, where it's just like, oh, because they got injuries, or oh, because he didn't get his signing. What innovation has Arteta shown this season?
Well, it goes to the point.
Hold on. I'm just asking, what innovation has Arteta shown this season on the pitch?
Marino false nine.
Okay, set pieces. They were scoring set pieces a little bit last year, but okay, set pieces.
Marino
but
false
other
nine.
than that, no, but that's by necessity, right? When you look at Arsenal, they play the same way. Whether Odegaard is injured, they're playing the same way.
Yeah.
If Saka's injured, you're playing the same way. There's no like, you haven't got Bukayo Saka, and I'm still seeing Arsenal try and do wing creation, cut in, somebody cross it, that's Bukayo Saka that you're replacing. You can't just get someone to be Bukayo Saka.
Yeah.
You can't just get, because I know people have small time memory now. Don't forget, remember everyone crying that Odegaard was out and the style of play wasn't clicking. Now he's back, everyone's upset, whatever. But you can't just get somebody at that point when there was injuries to replace Odegaard. So what has Arteta done to innovate the team? Let's find different ways of creating chances. Let's get Odegaard maybe closer to goal. What has Arteta done? I haven't seen anything. I've just seen injuries happen and Arsenal play the exact same way, injuries or not, last season and this season. Why are we acting like we haven't been saying that Arsenal are boring, that they're for a while now? It didn't just happen when Bukayo Saka went down. We've been saying it for a long, long time. And I just think we talk about the signings, we talk about the injuries, but coaches are meant to adapt to certain situations. Now, I'm not saying, without the injuries, I think Arsenal would have been higher in the table, in points-wise. However, I do think I haven't seen any kind of...
Well, to be fair...
how do I adapt to this? I haven't seen anything.
The last 15 games or whatever, they hadn't dropped any or hadn't really lost, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they went on an unbeaten trip. Yeah. So I think they probably
Which is their best record for a while.
Papering over
the
injuries and the cracks, and they're thinking,
repeat what you just said, though.
Just get through. Papering over, yes.
This is the problem. You can't
that window
paper
of opportunity in January. This is where it's... I guess every Arsenal fan is kind of looking and saying, hey, look, we told you we needed something in the attack, and now, the way it's looking, you're playing midfielders up front.
Do you think you can paper over the cracks your way to a title?
Hell no.
Because eventually those cracks are going to show.
The system hasn't changed.
But also the same. But here's the thing.
That's on Arteta.
I agree with that, because those are the same criticisms we had on Ange earlier in the season, when Klopp 2 seasons ago when he had those injury issues. You said,
Pep,
you need to adapt. Pep, 2-3 months back, we were saying, bro, you need to adapt, especially when you don't have all the players available to play your normal system. So listen, you're going to have to learn the hard way otherwise.
Week in, week out, we know what to expect from Arsenal now. It's kind of feeling like the same thing week in, week out, no matter who's playing. By the way, even when Saka and Odegaard were fit, we were still, it's like everyone's got short-time memory. Even when they were fit, we were kind of like, Arsenal style of play, they got Bukayo Saka. Arsenal style of play, but they got Martin Odegaard on form. Now you just got less quality. That's all it is. And we're seeing, I'm just saying, I haven't seen that innovation. I haven't seen that moment. Remember Pep Guardiola, I don't know what season it was, where they went down and it's like, John Stones, you go in midfield.
Thank you.
All of a sudden they won 18 in a row, whatever it is. I haven't seen anything like that. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm not disagreeing with you, and I think again that's what I'm saying. It's strategic, because even when I look at Arsenal's business, right, the loan players they brought into the Premier League were a goalkeeper that they couldn't use in the game because he was cup tied, and he's 39, and then Raheem Sterling, whose legs are spent. So even the way you're trying to recruit doesn't make any sense to what you think a team challenging for a title would do. So you got to look at all levels and think, do you guys actually want to win a league? It's one thing being close or close enough, but if you're trying to win a league, you got to go overboard. You got to take that real step. Don't get me wrong, Liverpool have managed to be in a situation where they had their squad, no signings, but the new manager came in and changed things.
Fresh ideas.
It does help when you're Salah, Van Dijk.
Bro, Salah's at an all-time high.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if they're there, what are Arsenal doing to try and close that gap?
The thing is, I'm not even questioning Arteta's ambition or anything. I think you look at Arteta, you look at his press conference, you look at him as he wants to win. I don't think Arteta's satisfied with what's going on. I don't think Arteta's sitting there thinking, this is brilliant.
Not.
But I do think from a club perspective, if we're talking about transfer-wise, the club perspective, I do think the Cronkies are just happy to kind of, you compete in, cool. But at the same time, we have to be real. They gave, for example, I think you give out money for like, what is it, 72? How much did Havertz go for? 70?
60, about 60 something million.
65 million.
That was a pivotal transfer, bro. That was a pivotal transfer. That one,
so we're saying
that one had to go. That one, I think Havertz has been good at Arsenal, but that one had to be like...
That had to be a bang.
That had to be a big change, yeah. Especially when you're Arsenal. Arsenal don't be forking out. And after they did Declan Rice, then they gave Havertz... They're thinking, go and win, bro. Like, this is
the
us
one that could have
really
made up for
ourselves.
it was, well, maybe not, but had they signed someone else other than Mudryk that window, because I know they were willing to splash cash that January to go that extra bit further, and that was almost like the last time where you thought they were going for something now. But then they signed Rice after, and then they signed Rice after. Of course, they said we're just saving the money type thing. But if Liverpool do go on to, let's say, win the title this year, how far back does this set the kind of Arsenal project that's been building? Because I'm sure if Liverpool win, they will see that as like, oh shit, there's an opportunity here to do 2 on the bounce maybe. There's an opportunity. City might come back into the picture next season. Like, how does that look moving forward for them?
Without taking us like too far and everything, I think people are saying that they got Trossard after that.
Yeah, they did. Without going Jorginho that summer.
To the question,
that was January. Yeah.
The question you're asking, I think the big thing that happens is it means that
different makers. Do you know what I mean?
It means that it's one trophy in 5 or 6 years for Arteta. The FA Cup, which he won with Aubameyang and them, which he came in halfway through the season. But anyway, you then start looking at what's always been murmured. The Saliba start looking around and think, I'm getting phone calls from Los Blancos.
Well, he's got 2 years on his contract.
He's got 2 years, but that 2 becomes one very soon.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That 2 becomes one very soon. The Bukayo Saka thing is the one that won't happen overnight. But people start looking in the change room and go, what are we doing here? If we're not winning trophies and we're the nearly men, what are we doing here? And that's the biggest thing that can deter a project, if you were.
Yeah. So I think to your question, I think I don't think. Look,
do you think they spend huge this summer,
narrative? Yeah, narrative wise, it's not a good look. Like, wow, Slot came in first season, but I do think. I still think Arsenal will be there next season. Yeah, I think Arsenal will be there next season. Yeah, 100%. I don't think you look at the age profile of their players. You look at, I think it's clear and obvious. Listen,
but then this summer then has to be one of like.
I was just about to say, if I see Arsenal sign a defender this summer,
forget about it.
Yo, everybody go down the road and riot, bro. This has to be every single penny Arteta is giving. It has to be on attackers.
Yeah. Question for
you
guys.
Has to be.
Question for you guys. Based on this little like group that's bubbling in and around the league and everything, do you think? Because obviously PSR goes out the window this season as well. Do you think there's an opportunity for one of these other teams to potentially come to the forefront? We know that with City have spent 200 million in January on some young players. Could they bounce back? Do you reckon a City could be in a position? I mean, a Newcastle could be in a position where we've got a striker who we're not going to sell. We can consolidate our squad further. Yeah. Can the league even shake up even further? Do you reckon?
I mean, the Premier League has shown that over the past couple of years with the emergence of Villa, with the emergence of Newcastle. I mean, Villa have been spending crazy, let's be honest. So, I mean, there's always an opportunity for them. And I think if the Newcastle almost felt like since they've had their owners, there's been one restriction or another, whether it's FFP, whether it's PSR or something. I think if their strings get loosened, some teams might be in trouble. But as he said, I think City should be back next season, you hope, unless Pep goes through like a kind of figure out period. I think Arsenal, should they reload properly in the summer, they should be back as well, and then Liverpool next season. So I imagine those 3 will still be there. That 4th place is kind of just, I guess, who's really going to put their hands around it.
Let me go through these super chats quickly.
I mean, it's going to be a lot for. I mean, they're saying that City want to get rid of 8 players, right? And there's a lot of the players. There was a lot of their treble-winning squad or whatever. Listen, you let go of 8, you have to bring in at least 6. Maybe some academy 2 will step up aside.
Yeah,
it might be a completely different. I don't think it's as easy as saying that City will just be there next season. Can't even lie.
We don't know.
Completely different. Bro.
I think they'll be in and around.
That's what makes the Premier League what it is.
They'll be in and around.
Like, you know that inevitability there. I'm just saying, they got KDB.
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
gone, bro. Them man are gone.
Again, I don't want us to harp too long on it, but again, Liverpool, they still have somewhat
Ball
of a
playing
spine.
keeper was Edison.
But I'm saying
and he's linked to leave. So who comes in?
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's the American?
What, Ortega?
Stefan. Something.
Zach Steven. I saw you left like 2 years ago.
AD says Foden is the worst peer of the year winner, luxury fraud. I just missed that one in the last one, so I'm saying it now.
Hey, man.
Timmy Yin says Arsenal sold all their attacking depth in the summer. This was inevitable. Bastion from the previous conversation says no culture cam tweets when Salah is dominating. Laugh my ass off.
I don't tweet football no more. No, I'm dead serious. Catch me on my profiles. You will not get my opinions on Twitter no more. Nah. So find me on my platforms, but I don't tweet my opinion on football anymore.
I might do that as well. You know?
Bro, I'm telling you.
You can't help yourself, man. You're just slandering every young bull out here.
Whoa. I ain't do nothing.
Twitter's too toxic, man. You say the sky is blue, they'll tell you the sky is green, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Moving on from Arsenal.
No, we need to talk about Martin Odegaard.
Yeah.
We can't slide over Odegaard. Come on, man. We all actually fans of Odegaard. What about you? You're not. I'm sure you kind of.
I remember
you were
questioning
doubting
his
him
big
back in the
games,
day.
yeah. And then I remember last year I was like, you know what, he's kind of secured his spot. But then this season I felt like when he came back after the injury, you saw the difference he can make to the side in terms of the positive. But I feel like since Saka's gone down, you saw when he was out, Saka still carried that mantle in terms of creativity, goals. And I think that expectation of goals on Odegaard is never there, despite him maybe 2 seasons ago, what was it, 15 league goals he had or whatever. He's been poor for a while now, not just this game as well, for the past couple of weeks. And it's almost like one of those performances where you look busy, but you're not really doing anything. And I think Arsenal fans will be very annoyed with it because you're looking at him as one of your best players in the team. And I think you always look to your best players both in the good moments and in the tough moments. And he has not been able to step up in the past couple of weeks.
My thing at the moment is I tried to look at both sides now. And I agree. I don't think Odegaard's been at the level, one, that I believe him to be a player of, but two, what the team need him to be as well. I think when you're one of those sort of creative players, even if you're not performing well, you're hoping for a moment of magic because that's what you are, especially as the captain. And he's shown at times before he can do that. But when you also look at Odegaard, there was a moment in time where Arsenal fans always had questions about his top game performances, and now that's spread out to sort of across everything. And he looks like a player that's tired and spent. That's one part of it. But he also looks like a player that's just not able to have that spark. You look at him and you're like, bruh, this is not a creative maestro, which is worrying. To what you're saying about Arteta and sort of the way they're playing, you could maybe make the argument about the way they're playing stifles that creativity because it's go to the left, go to the right. But at the same time, I expect big players to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and try and make something happen. And I think that's why it's a bit harsh. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing the quality.
I think Odegaard, like, the expectation, the reality from Odegaard is different, innit? Like, and I got to say again, because we were all there, people. We were all there when Bukayo Saka was fit and Odegaard wasn't. And everybody was saying, damn, we need Martin Odegaard. So let's not act like Odegaard is a rubbish player overnight. I'm seeing people talk like, take him off captain, strip him. Odegaard is a good player, is a very good player, right? But the expectation of him right now without Bukayo Saka there is come and be our match winner. Odegaard's not really like, the only time he was really that match winner was that 22-23 season, scored 15 open play goals, whatever. But he's never really been that player. He's been a player that's in the team, make it tick. And some will say that it's hiding and stuff. I saw a clip of him running, he ran away, whatever, which I'm going to speak on. But I think the expectation, what people want him to be right now, while Saka's away, is a Bruno Fernandes. He's not a Bruno Fernandes. He's not got that level of creativity. He's not got that X factor. He hasn't got that, what the hell is going on here? I'm going to shoot. He hasn't got that mentality. He keeps the game ticking.
Safe.
He's safe. But the thing that I don't like about his safety, right, is it's not only necessary about safety, is he lacks bravery in a lot of things that he does. And that's what I don't like. You see like that run, for example, that's going viral. Only reason he didn't want to make that run is because of fear of getting caught.
Yes.
You see people like Juan Mata, you see people like David Silva, they were often at times hit with that they're too safe. But one thing about them is they were still brave in their actions in terms of, I'm going to try and dink that ball over the top. I'm going to try and dribble if I need to dribble. Even if Mata started losing his legs, he's still trying to dribble. His limitations were being exposed because he was trying. Odegaard's limitations, you barely see it because he only wants to play in his safe zones. He only wants to pop up when he's on that final edge of the box and he's trying to do them little combinations in the box. I'm like, you got to be a little bit braver. I fully agree with Arsenal fans in that regard, that he needs to be a bit more brave. But I do think the expectation on him right now is completely different to the actual player that he is. And you're not going to get what you want from him.
I think the issue with a lot of that, though, is people know he possesses the technical ability to do that. So I understand the Bruno Fernandes point, but people look at Odegaard and they'll see what he does on the ball. They'll see what he's done throughout his career. Even if you look at specifically Sociedad, you can tell there's a technical gifted player that offensively can offer you something. So again, maybe it is a bravery thing, but especially when it's your captain as well, though.
But this is where they always say the game is not just about technical ability, and why it's not just a pure eye test, bro. It's about gusto. It's about having balls. It's about being brave. It's about the mental side of the game as well, and that's where maybe you could say a player like a Bruno has that little bit more mental grit to be like, you know what, I'm going to take the game by the scruff of the neck. I'm going to try these things that I might get cooked for, but if it comes off, it's going to turn out well. He's not willing to do that, and it could be because of that. You know, don't want to face that criticism. Don't want people to see the holes in my game. So it's just a bravery thing and a mental thing.
Taking the conversation full circle, it could be because, you know, they call Arteta a dictator. It could be because that hold is sort of, you've got to do this.
There's definitely it's a byproduct of the system. Definitely an element of that.
A byproduct, as you said, of the system that they play. I feel like Arteta, he even said it after the game. There was a lack of repetition in positive actions or something like that. I was like, oh, so you want like repeated same moves to be done. I was like, football ain't a formula like that, bro. You have to be able to play off the cuff when things aren't going your way. When you realize, oh, you know what, these will have a press trap that they're trying to do. We got to play off the cuff today for 10 minutes, for 15 minutes. But if you're trying to do it like it's a formula and it's regimented, you're always going to come unstuck.
He just needs to. I do think he hasn't stepped up to the mantle at all. But I do think the commentary on him is going a bit overboard because Arsenal are looking for a saviour and they're looking at, oh, you're our next best player. But he's just not that guy in that way. Like, listen, he is nowhere near.
Did he sell him a drink when he scored that 15 goals?
Yeah,
did he sell him a drink?
It was a different time, but see, to your point, sorry, not to jump in, but I think the reason why the expectation is even more is because it's common knowledge that Raheem Sterling right now is not the player that they thought they were gonna get, or the player was at City. You're looking at your forwards and it's just Trossard, and
when the chips are down, it's highlighted even more.
So it's like, you're the most technical player we have. You have to give us something, and I think that's why the expectation, it's even more through the roof.
You got to be at a certain, or maybe because of the level that he was put on. But you've got to be at a certain level where, if somebody asks something completely different to what you're used to, you're still able to do that. Let's say Salah last season, he started playing playmaking a little bit more because that's what he was required to do. But he's good enough to do that. You know what I mean? Like, he's an elite football player. He's the elite player. You look at Rooney, he might be asked to do something completely different. But he's elite. But
Bernardo Silva,
but maybe
right, sometimes
exactly. But maybe Odegaard hasn't got that level where it's like, okay, you're the team ticker now. Oh, Saka's gone. Be the match winner. He just doesn't have that to go there.
And he doesn't, or do you reckon he's simply struggling?
I don't know, because listen, there's top players that we've seen in the history of football. Let's say Iniesta. If you told Iniesta, you have to be our match winner week in, week out. I'm not saying Odegaard's Iniesta level. You don't know what you would have got from Iniesta. Iniesta's never been that player. Iniesta's ticking, he's dribbling, but he's never been that every week I'm going to match win for you. We've never seen that. No, of course.
When you need me.
No, of course.
And you need a match winner.
Of course.
I can do that as well.
But week in, week out.
It's that ability to tap into it.
Week in, week out.
Maybe
week in, week out.
You never know.
David Silva wasn't like that. These guys weren't like that.
To your point, though, to summarise with Arsenal, that's why the Champions League is going to be super interesting. I don't think they've got an easy tie, even though people are thinking of the next round.
PSV.
Certain games like that is where you're going to need your top players to really showcase. And I think for him, if they're going to salvage anything from the season, they're going to have to try and go deep in the Champions League. I think the league is done. They obviously FA Cup.
That's a tough tie.
it is a tough tie, but they're gonna need him because they're not gonna
I've
have
always
the
said
ballers
that
back.
for some reason Arsenal fans don't even consider the Champions League, but I've always thought you always see teams making
Just
deep
go for it.
runs
Why
into the
not?
semis, and why not?
Yeah.
I don't see why not. They have
With these
bits of quality
injuries.
there.
Hmm.
Obviously with the injuries you could say that, but bro, cup runs, that's
That man, Moreno stepping into the Bernabeu. Up 9. Love and guidance, mate.
Listen, you're saying this, yeah,
Into the
but
Bernabeu.
you give them a dose of their own medicine. I saw them slap Hosley up top and Hope.
Hostel's a striker.
Yeah, but Hosley was a donkey at the time.
Yeah, respect Hostel,
Hosley was a donkey at the
goals
time.
in the semis.
Bro, Hosley was a donkey
Chupo,
at the
they
time.
say Chupo.
2 goals in the
Oh,
semis.
He's a striker, guys.
But he was a donkey at the time.
Bro, oh my God, Moreno's what? He's a
Let's
6.
move on anyway.
Hey, listen, let's move on. Speaking of London
Who
teams,
we
big
giving-
up
who we
West
giving
Ham.
Celsius player of that game?
No, that's just the fixture of the weekend.
Yeah.
The fixture of the weekend. Can't just be giving out.
I can't. I want Bowen to get some
How much
flowers,
Celsius you think we got?
Trust me.
I see a couple cans yeah.
Obviously, once again, big up to West Ham
By the
as
way,
well. I think,
Kudus.
yeah, it was good. It was good to highlight that they're doing something. Hopefully, they continue to go on their run.
Potter.
Speaking of Potter London teams, we've got to talk about Chelsea.
Boy, oh boy. Aye, Chelsea become my favourite topic, bro. Let me sit up, man.
Yeah, really.
They become my favourite topic.
Where's that?
Hey.
Bro, so Chelsea fans were trying to quote tweet me yesterday and only to go and lose 2 hours later. Hey.
Hey.
They sent me the tweet. They were like, "Make sure you come with this." I was like,
Make
"Bro,
sure you cook.
We've
You
got
guys
nothing on
win.
the stove. We've got nothing on the stove. Just keep your food ration safe. Like
Hey,
we
man.
can't cook yet."
It ain't easy.
Let's talk.
Aston Villa.
Boy.
Let's talk. Let's
We're
talk.
letting
I feel like we should give them their credit before we talk about
before we
your
go into
mess
Chelsea.
as well,
Yeah,
'cause
redemption boys. Asensio, Rashford.
things
Yeah,
we love to see.
redemption.
I love a good
stories.
redemption arc, and especially Asensio
Yeah.
after his injury at Madrid.
Yeah.
Before his injury at Madrid,
Great
you
player.
thought this was, yo, don't worry about Isco's.
He was in Dembele and
comeback.
Mbappe chat.
Yeah,
Bro,
he was.
For a sec.
He was
He
up
was.
there, and you was thinking he's a special player, bro.
Yeah.
The injury comes, he doesn't really look the same afterwards. Goes to PSG, doesn't really fit and playing his false nine role. So you're thinking, bro, this random loan move in January to Villa. What the hell's gonna happen here, bro? Already 2 games, he's making a difference. And then you talk about Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, came off the bench.
Came
he
off the
said.
bench again, 2
Carlos
assists.
back for it to
I
miss.
thought the first assist as well, brilliant, the way he kind of changes body angle, gets it across,
Yeah.
and then not even forget the 2 assists, but throughout the game, how troublesome he
Hey,
was.
Gusto
Very-
was.
He
Playing
cooked
with a bit
Gusto
of
again.
like,
Gusto was.
bro, Gusto was
He was
nowhere
bleeding.
to
He
be
always cooks
found, bro.
Gusto.
Yeah, but Gusto
Always
was bleeding.
And brother, that's a player who looks like he's enjoying himself again, bit of confidence back, loves the game again, and you hope this kind of loan spell. This is it, but essentially what both of them were using it for. And even Marlon, let me not forget, because he was decent as well
Yeah.
yesterday. But I think this is the reason why Villa made these signings in games like this where they can make that difference. That
When were
bit of
those
quality.
signings made, Fuad?
Huh?
When were the signings made?
January. Of
See what
course.
can happen.
'Cause that's
in
what
the
clubs
window.
do.
You know what the funniest thing is? If Man United were looking for a winger right now in the Premier League, it would look a little bit like Marcus Rashford. Funniest club in the history of football clubs, man. I'm telling you now, this club is
You're
just...
saying United are funny. Imagine looking at a Villa team like that, yeah, and thinking, wow, maybe if we implemented their strategy, where would we be? That's what Chelsea would have probably looked at. And
Yeah.
thought, oh, you know, this signing, that signing.
I think with Villa as well, this season they've really struggled with the games post Champions League. They've always dropped points after them.
Yeah.
And listen, I think similar like was it Newcastle that year when they qualified for the Champions League.
Yeah.
You always feel that kind of knock-on effect, which is why I feel like in the league they've been a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah.
You know, 9th, 8th, I think they are.
Yeah.
But when they're on their day,
They could, yeah, on there.
brother, and they're similar like we were talking about earlier with the Newcastles, with the Forest. They're one of those teams that. They want to play football, they
Yeah.
can do that.
But they can do
But
the
then they can
physical
also
side.
do the we'll punch you in your mouth and be difficult to break down. So credit to Unai, man. He's building
What I
something.
would say with the Chelsea perspective is Chelsea are under observation. Chelsea under observation, big observation, because the form from
Kaz, you hearing this? They went from click click to hey, we're under observation.
Slipstream.
I told you we crashed.
Slipstream.
We crashed it.
Hey.
We crashed it. Word to
Maze was
Rashford.
buckling up for a bumpy ride.
Let me
we
ask a question
crashed.
though, Maze.
Go on.
Just be honest. Just
Yeah.
be honest. Just be honest.
Yeah.
This is about being honest.
Yeah,
bro.
Sunday.
Have you improved from Pochettino?
Have
Just
we
be honest.
improved?
Are Chelsea a better team under Maresca than you were under Pochettino? That's what I'm asking.
I wouldn't say we're worse.
So you would say nothing changed.
it's a period of nothingness. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Like I said,
This guy's so done.
Said, last season,
This guy's
nothing
so
will
done.
change.
What I would say is, with where Chelsea are now, we're under observation for this reason purely. I personally am seeing a team that is believing that top 4 is enough for this season. The reason why I say that is because when we were in a position to keep going forward, we took our foot off the gas. If Chelsea fail to get top 4 this season,
You're not getting it.
there's no Conference League that can cover for this season. And I don't care what people say about young players and, you know, we've won a trophy, it's not been so long. Chelsea were in a position where you were doing well. I don't care if you've got young players. Chelsea took their foot off the gas. If you look at context where Chelsea's season are, we are so lucky that Manchester United and Spurs have been piss poor because our form is nearly as bad as you guys.
Over the last 8 games, for sure.
But because you guys are resting each other in the mud, we look all right. Newcastle are starting to find, they've stopped their little losing streak. They're starting to pick up form. Forest are doing what they need to be doing. Villa, we've seen, can go on a mad run in the tail end of the season. Chelsea, do not let yourself be embarrassed and not finish top 4. At least if you finish top 4, you can say law of averages, we finished where we should be.
Yeah.
But that team needs, the pride of London need to show some pride.
I think
what I'm seeing right now is the standards have gone.
Yeah.
People's heads have gone. People don't have faith in what's going on. The manager is literally saying that I just need to be top 4.
Yeah.
It's one thing to say you need to be there, but you actually need to get there, bro. It's gone from sort of, we're going to balance and, you know, we won't finish second, but we'll finish 4th. We're literally dragging ourselves back into the race of 4th.
So crazy how you went from like one end of the spectrum to like the other this season, where at one point you guys were looking like, oh, this young core that we're building is actually starting to click together. And, you know, Maresca was the right guy to come in. He came in speaking very clearly, very clear cut, saying, you know, there's 2 players for every position. I don't know, all this 40 player stuff. The first 4 months were like, bruh, everybody was like, hold on, we may have been wrong about Chelsea. And then the turn of the year, it's
From
like
December.
something got figured out in your system. And teams went, yo, if you punch these man in the face a couple times early doors, they're shaken. Their attack just started to dry up a little
Fizzled
bit.
out.
Cole Palmer started to have 1 or 2 dry games, and it was like, hold on. If he's not turning up, you got Pedro Neto on like 1 or 2 goals, even though he had a decent game yesterday. You got Sancho, who's living off that early 2 assists that he got at the start of the season. You got Nkunku, who has been blowing balloons and has forgotten how to play football, basically. You just got found out in about the space of a month that, these men are not, forget serious title contenders, they're not even a serious club. And now you're just slowly in this kind of like free fall state of where at the start of the season you were actually beating teams like Fulham and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That, you know, last season you were dropping points, so that was a big conversation. You know,
Yeah.
Chelsea are beating the teams that they should be beating
And
this
then
year.
now
But
you're losing to them.
now you're just getting washed by them as well. That's the worst thing. They're clearly outplaying you. They're dominating you. And I'm looking at your entire team, like all thirds of the pitch defensively. You're looking like you've got gaps
Lackluster.
everywhere. And everybody who was playing out of their skin is all of a sudden restored to default setting. Midfield just looks a bit meh. So again, and then the attack, we've already said, is just been wishy-washy.
To your point, this is where it now gets interesting because people are always going to do comparison. I remember when anytime you guys get a new manager, I always say that the manager's job is to make the fans forget about the last manager. Maresco started doing that, and then when it started going a bit stale, everyone's like, but hold on, what was Poch doing? What did Poch do well last season?
I think the
tail end of the season,
you guys turned it around.
he managed to clock it, and we started making momentum. If Chelsea are to finish top 4, we have to go on a run. We cannot be patchy for the rest of the season. We actually have to go on a run and impose ourselves. Maresca's tail end of the season has to be the same level of Poch's or better.
Yeah.
If he does not do that, my word, this is going to get spooky because the fans are going to get jittery. The players are going to be like, hold on, so what? We did all of that for nothing.
This is the exact same stage where you lot's formed. 26 games in, you lot won 8 of your last 12 games under Poch. So now
it has to kick
you're
in.
basically saying you need to replicate.
It has to kick in.
You need to replicate end of season
And
Poch.
if it doesn't, people are going to make the comparison because there's no point starting well if you're going to finish
If you
badly.
just finished 6th and you
Yeah.
finished 6th last year,
Yeah.
then
It's
obviously
the same thing.
it's just stagnant.
You made a point in the previous segment where you were saying that when it comes to the end of the season, I think you're talking about the goals for Mbappe when you're talking about his season.
Yeah.
What people look at is where you finished.
Yeah.
There's no one in Premier League years. They'll say Arsenal or Chelsea's young quartet were cooking, and then they tailed off. That doesn't mean anything, brother. You've got to finish this season well. So Chelsea are under observation. Top 4. If we don't finish top 4, it's spooky. It's spooky. You can't spend all of that money, do all of that promise, do all of that. Yeah, the Conference League is in the bag. If they don't even win the Conference League,
Nah.
that one has to be.
That
in the bag.
can't happen.
That one has to be.
I promise you, we would design this set as a funeral, bro.
What if they don't win the Conference?
If these lot don't win the Conference League,
No.
bro, we're burying him alive. You know, live. This is gonna be dark.
Well, like WWE
We'll turn off monetization. We're burying him alive in the studio.
I'm with that.
One episode we're turning off monetization. Somebody's getting buried
with the
alive.
hand
Bro.
coming out the grave.
Everything.
Undertaker playing in the background all episode.
Bro, we're coming. We need. Where's our pallbearer, bro? We'll get Saeed.
We'll get
We'll
KG
get Saeed to be our pallbearer. We'll get KG. We'll get flipping whoever, bro.
Hey.
He could be our pallbearer, bro.
Nah, for real.
I'm telling you.
Chelsea, to summarize, Chelsea on the observation, they need to go on a run and people need to step up. I know the whole thing about Cole Palmer is that he's not scored in 6 games and he's looking frustrated, and people saying that he's taking so much onus to try and score goals and he's being selfish. But the reason why I don't like those conversations, what are we saying about Odegaard right now? We're saying that someone needs to take control. So I can't fault him for trying something.
Yeah.
But boy, listen, man, them top 4, you must. We ain't said that in a while. You must finish top 4.
Let's see who steps up, because I think Cole Palmer's gone off the ball. I don't care what nobody says.
He
to
has.
me. Cole Palmer's gone off the ball. He had a good start. He's gone off, and
I can't lie,
now he's looking. His performances are not good, and he's not getting the stats as well. So right now, it's indifferent. Who's gonna have that late run? Who's gonna say, okay, do you know what? We're gonna take the mantle. I don't see anyone right now really trying to grab that at the moment.
Think of that one chance where he's through on goal and then he kind of cuts back? Should he have passed, squared it, or? That's
typical Cole Palmer though. He's quite selfish.
Because I'm like, bro, and Nkunku's right there. You give that to him. You make the game 2-1. You kind of have a bit of breathing space, and it was just one of those moments where I was like, you really wanted to get your goal in it.
He when you watch it, he should have. But again, when I look at a young team, young players, if you're in a position, and that's what the situation creates. If you've been a guy that's like Jude Bellingham, England, who else? You're naturally going to take the chance because you've been looking around. It's like, man, them don't want to help. So I'm going to do it. So I can't get too mad at those. It's frustrating, but it's a byproduct of the situation at the end of it.
If I was Nkunku, I would have been like, brother, you could have plated me for my first one right here, easy. And instead you wanted to do the selfish thing.
The keeper as well, your keeper situation.
After all of that.
The keeper situation's a complete
Our
mess.
best goalkeeper's playing at Bournemouth.
As nice as it was seeing, Rashford Asensio link up for the 2 goals,
our best goalkeeper's at Bournemouth.
But don't you think Maresca needs to stop talking about it and stop, like, I know they keep asking him about it, but he needs to just say, you'll see on the weekend. Like, I feel like he's doing too much, like, my goalkeeper, this person's going to start this. As a goalkeeper, right, I've spoken to goalkeepers before, and they say...
friends.
No, but it's the fact. So they say they need to feel like the number one. That's the only position in the team where they need assurances that they are the starter. Now, Sanchez... You have not given yourself a good account.
But the issue
however, then tell Jorgensen. Who is it? Jorgensen. Tell him you are the starter. You know what I mean? You are the starter, not like, 1 week this, 1 week. I bet we're gonna see Sanchez start next week.
Bro, you got to remember, a month and a half ago, he was backing Sanchez to the hill, and that's my number one
Sanchez
guy.
said, "Oh,
a couple mistakes, he went, "You're out of here."
Yeah.
So.
I think that's it's going to cause issues.
It is an irony though, that after saying that Kepa was one of the worst signings in Premier League history ever, he's gone on to be Chelsea's best goalkeeper and he's not playing at Chelsea.
Bro,
how funny
is bad, bro? Probably.
What in the environment? We're saying what Chelsea's like United.
Boy, it gets dark, bro. Once it starts getting dark, it gets dark.
I'm seeing Anthony cooking at Betis. I'm seeing Rashford at Aston Villa.
Just got a red card,
Oh man, I got his assist.
The red devil got his assist.
He just got a red. You just knocked off 10 mil off your fee, man. What the hell, bro? But nah, I saw a picture on 360. I saw Thibaut Courtois and Peter Cech used to be options. Now it's Jorgensen and what's his name? Sanchez and Robert Sanchez
and Bettinelli.
They're telling me the quality of the game has improved.
Do you want me to make you man laugh? I don't want to kick Sanchez whilst he's down, but do you know how mad it is that Forest Green Rovers fans laugh at Chelsea for having Sanchez?
You got National League clubs laughing at you.
bro, they're like, how did this guy become? That's mad. That's madness. But listen, man, I want the boys to do well. Secure top 4, please. Top 4, nothing. Honestly, we cannot not finish top 4.
Oh,
that's ridiculous.
So funny,
speaking of United,
Chelsea, you know.
United. Actually, quickly, I want to do a super chat here. This is a potential for champ of the week for me anyway. Bulla says why Djed Spence is best defender in the league.
I love Djed Spence, man.
It says why Djed Spence are the best in the defender in the league.
Go on, give him his props, man.
Listen.
Let's play some TikTok music. Go on.
Listen.
No, what's the Kai Snap one? The dun, 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 dun.
I don't even know that.
The motivational one.
Oh, yeah.
Let me try and find that.
Listen,
Actually,
Tommy Tooks.
Nah, copyright.
yeah.
This is a special message to you. That left back position is calling our name. Djed. Young Jedi. Forget Anthony Robinson. He's declared for America. We got one brother for you. Goes by the name of Djed Spence. Early first third of the season, everybody was talking about Kulusevski and the magic he was bringing. Are you not watching Djed Spence? Week in, week out. Minimum 8 out of 10. Bro, honestly, I didn't even know he was this good. And I liked him. And I thought he was never given the opportunity. But since coming in, I thought that third goal yesterday as well. Pip, lovely bit of football behind it. But he can't put a foot wrong at
Go
the
on,
moment.
tell us he's the best in the
Listen,
league, mate. Go on. Like Udoji, like Pedro
Oh,
Porro.
you carry away.
You know,
tweeted out last week, but you know.
Spurs have the best 3 fullbacks in the history of football. Porro, Udoji, and Djed Spence.
And they got the best centre-half partnership with the Premier
When I
League.
love something, I love it with all my heart. I'm a strong lover. So trust me, Djed Spence, I appreciate
Mama,
you, brother.
I'm chasing
I
a girl.
appreciate you more than
That's
you
done with
know,
TikTok,
brother.
man.
I'm telling you.
Nah, he's been good, man.
Fez.
What
Nah, he's
player?
killing it.
Danso's
I'm
been
happy
good as
for him
well.
Aye, me and my boy Danso, I had stocks in him when he was in Liga. When he signed, I said, you know what, this is perfect. The physicality of Romero, but the ball playing ability of Van der Ven as well. Let's see how this goes. He ain't put a foot wrong so far. Man mountain. That's real men.
So I'm a dancer driver.
So Chevy the dancer driver. So I'm a dancer driver. So you know it's Ghanaian though. Hey, big up dancer, man. United quickly. I want to ask you, what did you make of Bruno? What did you make of Bruno Fernandes's performance?
Nah, you were so funny. His first ever watch along on his show.
Bro, why you tweeting my shit, bro? Stop tweeting my shit.
Listen, turn your notifications on for Coach Gazzy's channel. More watch alongs are coming. Bro, it was the best thing. I said, him and Avs both set up for Goodison Park. Early
It's
kickoff.
so random,
I
bro.
said, yeah, this is going to be perfect. The first half, yeah, I saw his hairline decrease by 1 centimeter. I visibly saw it decrease. Under the do-rag as well. Oh my days. That was cinema. I can't lie.
Do you know what's so funny though?
Bro. Stop watching my shit.
What's so funny?
I'm gonna
is-
retweet every link every day. Y'all tune in.
What's so funny? Yeah, we obviously you weren't around last week. We did the show from home, and I told him. I said David Moyes could do the funniest thing ever. And Beto, I said it. He's turned Beto into prime Didier.
He's Didier, bro. He's Didier.
Bro, let's be real. That was the most cash money thing that was going to happen in that game. Beto scoring, some
Both teams to
kind of mix up. And the first 2 goals just absolutely made me laugh. Because the second one, I literally locked in perfect time before it went in.
Bro, I was like,
I was like, are you surprised?
bro, I couldn't believe what I was watching, bro. It was like a FIFA goal.
The
It was like a
Corey
kid's
saw
goal.
that and licked his lips, said Onana and 50-50. Let's go.
my goodness,
Let's go.
I've got to say though, again, like Bruno Fernandes, there's been moments this season where I think the Liverpool game in particular, where it was like, raw, he's not playing hero ball, it's like really good. And then the way he switched on in this game.
Do you know what? So am I wrong in saying he always turns up against Everton for some reason?
He's got a
I
good
remember there
record
was
against
one.
Everton.
Was it last year where he played like a deeper role?
Yeah.
And he was like a metronome, bro.
He's
I was
got a
like,
good record against Everton as well. Like I remember, I think in the first season that he came, he scored some beautiful header against
Fairs,
Everton.
man.
But you know what is like with Bruno, I'm not. You see, you guys may have noticed, I'm not really on Bruno that much this season.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't really been saying too much because regardless of what I think or people think or whoever the doubters are on Bruno, he's better than this level. I don't care. Like I'm not that deranged, bro. He's better than what Manchester United are putting out at the moment. And for me, that's why I'm giving him a sort of credit. You know what I mean? This is not too much credit because at the end of the day, we still stink and there's still games that he's playing poor. But sometimes you ask yourself, why does it have to take until we're losing for United and Bruno to sometimes kick into gear? But the way he kicked into gear, that was proper. And I guess this is what Arsenal fans want from Martin Odegaard. But that was a proper, you know what, I'm going to be the one to try and get this team over the line. Do you know what I mean? And the free kick was brilliant. And just a general performance. I was like, right, Bruno Fernandes is even showing feet. He was dribbling a little bit. I was like, yeah, okay. He's adding signs to his bag. But nah, that performance, that last 30 minutes that he showed at Goodison Park was, I wouldn't say one of his best performances, but it was a very, very good performance on his behalf.
Culture Cams.
Hi, mate.
I have to ask you some questions.
Hello, mate.
Because when you played Everton,
yeah,
that was drawing 2-2 stops them from setting some gaps between them and you in 14th and 15th.
Why?
Your manager came out and said about your team, if I knew how to change things, I would fix them. Culture Cams, what is your thoughts on Ruben Amorim's quote?
I mean, it's just another one of his quotes that he's done so far where you're just like, why did you say that? Like, this is like the 10th time I've already said, why did you say that, Amorim? Like, he's a bit too oversharer. Like, I love managers that speak, be clear, like Thomas Tuchel. Be clear. When he was in charge, he'll let you know, there's no illusions, but he's a little bit like, you're starting to show your vulnerability to the media. Yeah. And that's what I don't like. Speak, be confident. Maresca does it. He's slipped a little bit in the last few weeks, but he's showing too much vulnerability. You don't need to sit with Rio and say, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying my best. Rio, the job is so hard. Like, bro, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We want to see results on the pitch. We want to see a manager that's puffing his chest out and, in fact, saying to us, hang in there, because next season, I would love to hear hang in there, because next season movies are being made. If he said something like that, I'd be like, do you know what? At least he's confident with it. The scary thing is, I can see the players are not confident. I can see the environment of the club is a mess. I can see what's going on with the board is a mess. But you are also a mess as well. And I feel like some fans are afraid to speak on that. Because there is a lot of issues with Man United, fans are a bit afraid to speak about Amorim because they'll just easily say, well, it's not his fault. It's not all his fault, but he is making a lot of mistakes, bro. He is making a lot of mistakes in the media, and he's making a lot of mistakes on the pitch. And people just need to be honest.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being most likely, 1 being least likely, where would you say Ruben Amorim fits within the potential of being Graham Pottered?
I think, 10 is what? Most likely?
Most likely.
3. It's got to be a 3 or 4. I can't see him getting sacked, honestly. I don't even think they can afford to sack him.
6. I would say if we continue losing at the rate that we're losing at the moment, it could become untenable.
Fuad, David Moyes has picked up more points in his tenure at Everton than Ruben Amorim.
They're not getting relegated, bro.
No,
I didn't say they're getting relegated.
Manchester United are getting relegated.
They're not getting relegated, but what you have to remember is, right now, we're supposed to be seeing proof of concept of next season. Yeah. I understand that the players maybe not be up to level. I understand he wants to play his way, but we also didn't bring you in here to allow a sinkhole to happen in the derelict building we have. So it's like, you have to show us something, because at the end of the day, you expect us to give you money to fix this. Yeah. But we're not seeing anything that we would want to potentially back. So when you look at the situation he's in, I understand his hands are tied. I understand the players may not be at the level. I understand that the players probably think there's nothing to play for, because if we go on a mad run, we're not making Europe.
Not only that, everyone's future is in doubt.
Yeah. Everyone's future. So everyone's kind of like, what am I really doing? But at the same time, there's nothing happening. How can nothing be happening? There's nothing. I feel like, zero.
Yeah, that's the concern.
I think that's the thing. I agree with what you said there in terms of he's showing a bit too much vulnerability to the media, and it's kind of inviting the vultures, if you like, because the media will do the thing where they praise you at the beginning, and then as soon as it's time to turn on you, hold on, you've just given us all these juicy quotes. So I think that, and the thing of maybe he is losing faith in his own powers. You kind of get that kind of feeling where he's thinking, I'm at a loss with these players because they're not understanding what I'm telling them. But I think what you said there, he has to keep the faith. And I think a little bit of that, I think he did come out in this same game where he said, that's the reason why I didn't change the system in the first half, coming into the second half, and I didn't make any changes because we were basically invisible in the first half, and that is our own fault. And in the second half, they understood it, and we saw a bit of a reaction. And it's 2 set-piece goals, you could say, which, let's be honest, from you guys isn't normal. So it's actually maybe a step in the right direction, and you finding solutions. But that's the one thing. He can't bend, and he can't fold till the end of the season, in my opinion. I think even I've come on the past couple of weeks and said, should he maybe tweak his system a little bit? And I think tweaks within it, yeah, but if he starts completely changing his system now and start being like, you know what, this job is bigger than I thought it'd be, now you've lost the whole reason why they brought you in for. You're meant to be the guy that kind of leads them out of this situation, and instead you're looking like you're sinking them further into it.
At the same thing, it's at the same time, there's the same thing I was saying about Arsenal, though, innovation. He hasn't shown any innovation so far. Like, whether if this is your system, okay, I understand it's your system, but where's the innovation in your system?
Yeah, and that's what I mean by the tweaks within it.
Even when we're a good team, even if we become a fantastic team, you're going to need to show innovation at some point. And that's the only thing that I haven't seen so far. I haven't seen him be innovative within his system. So, yes, you can talk about the personnel. The players are terrible. We know the players are not good enough. But a lot of them players are still going to be here next season. And I keep saying, you can't lose your way into them understanding this system.
Facts.
They're going to need to find a way of believing in it. So, whatever you need to do within this system, you need to find a way to stop the bleeding, and not only stop the bleeding, you need to find a way to get results, because we can't keep losing and drawing and losing and drawing and think these seasoned professionals are going to just be like, well, we're waiting for pre-season, everything's going to switch. Like, nah, they're going to be thinking, this guy don't know. When you're walking into that changing room after losing, after a while, the words are going to be going in one ear and out the other. Like, shut up.
Got no cachet.
And that's the reality. So he needs to find a way to get and I think maybe that might be through, you'd hope, through Europe, through the FA Cup. But you never know. I think people are overdoing how scared they are of Real Sociedad. I'm not going to lie. I think we can. I don't think it's going to easy tie. But I mean, flipping out, people are going on as if we drew Real Madrid.
I think they're 11th in La Liga as well. Something like that.
They've lost more games than they won themselves. And people are going on. I think like, what is it, Madrid that we drew? Or?
Only thing I'll say to that is football's about consistency, innit? Don't get me wrong. Like, it's all well and good being able to switch on for big games, but if you're not doing well in the league, I don't have much hope that when it comes to the cup games, yes, we're gonna magically get performance.
We've done that. We've done it last season.
Yeah, but again, that juice isn't always something that's there. And to the point about changing post Diallo, like, you have to find something else. He does. You've got to find something else. It's how football management goes. So listen, man, hold tight them in it. Champs and duds, time with the show. I've got a massive dud. I think you guys will agree with me. Send in your champs and duds as well, please. Listen, guys, there's been bare of you in here. You need to smash the like button. The views to likes it's not making sense. Smash the like button. What's
come
in
on,
there?
guys.
Smash the like button. Smash the like button. My dud.
Let's get to 1K before the end.
My dud is a guy who has caused a situation that didn't need to be caused. It's someone that's used his own words to bring his changing room and club into despite. It's Gasperini.
Yeah,
I think his statement after the Ademola Lookman thing was bizarre, especially when I saw Retegui miss 2 pens against Arsenal. Also, I don't think Lookman's missed a pen for like 4 years or something like that, and he's also the guy that scored a hat-trick to win your first ever trophy. But that aside, I think you're a massive dud for that statement. I get it, managers can lose their heads all the time, but don't come out and start throwing your best player under the bus. And now, Lookman scored today. He's tweeted pain into power. Yeah, he's got a chip on his back, but you're definitely losing him. But maybe you're going to lose him anyway. So, but you've got a dud for that behaviour.
You know, when the Curva Sud, the ultras of an Italian club are coming out in defence of a black player, that's when you know you said something wrong. That's all I'm going to say. The Italian ultras are taking his side. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah. You know what it is, bro. So, listen, he done himself there, in my opinion. And all I think it's done now is basically, I think Lookman was going to go in the summer anyway, but now essentially he's just giving it a green light, and I think he's going to walk out.
Yeah. Let's know duds as well.
I got a few champs.
Go on.
You're doing duds.
Yeah, let's do duds first.
Doing duds. I haven't really got a dud, to be fair.
Some hair are... God, you want to do yours?
Maybe City, they're getting slapped left, right and centre on this.
Someone said KDB. There's no KDB slander today.
Hey,
KDB
man.
might even be an honorary champ. No slander for KD, man.
No, chill.
I said honorary.
Put the gun down. Put the gun down. Put the gun down.
Honorary.
Chill. I think that's you have to give it to Arsenal. I think losing at home, title race done. I know. You see, I can't say it. I'm always gonna look like the bad guy because you guys don't want to do it. I mean, come on, you're losing at home to West Ham again. The title, you throw it away again. Come on, brother. I'm not gonna ignore that. Sorry, I know I'm a Tottenham fan. You don't think I'm doing it because I'm a hater, but you would have given it yourselves if you're a real Arsenal fan.
Good point.
Fair enough. Do you want to go for your champs?
Yeah, I got a few champs. I got a champ for Isak. He is now the highest scoring Swedish player in the Premier League. I'm sure we all know who the other one is.
Freddie Lundberg.
There we go. Thank you very much. I don't know if that's one champ. We got to give the other champ for me, Kylian Mbappe, hat trick, and it was a lovely. I almost bugged and said 2 goals. It was a hat trick, beautiful hat trick as well against Man City. Killed them. Man was looking at all of them like plates of food, bro. You know what I mean? So I got to give that one. And then this one that just popped up now. John Textor. He is the president of Lyon.
Palace.
He is the president of Lyon. The PSG president, Nasser Al-Khalifi, called Lyon owner John Textor a cowboy during Liga talks during TV rights. So tonight, Leon Textor walks out before the game against PSG with a cowboy hat on. So he's on the pitch like, yeah. Let's go. Bro, he looks like
that is top 2.
That's because Ben will get smacked though. That's
real talk. I had a champ, but it's just left my head now. Still,
I think Mo Salah.
Yeah,
Mo Salah give a champ.
It was a champ.
Difference making an away game like that.
Yeah, I had a champ for speaking of Madrid. I had a champ for Modric. He's got an absolute banger today.
40 years old, nearly 40
proper Unk still got it performance because he balled out as well.
Oh yeah, champ. Liez Bouzidi's birthday, man.
Yeah, big up production,
man.
It's the boy Liez's birthday, man.
Guys, man.
Yeah, man. Go and hit up Liez. Say happy birthday to the boy.
Happy birthday in the chat for Liez.
Say you came from FCM, man. Say happy birthday to the guy, man. You're gonna turn into Celsius soon, bro.
We're gonna send him some free Celsius at the end of the show. Big up champs as well. Big up Celsius as well. You know,
come on. New sponsor.
That's Celsius.
Big up Celsius.
I'll crack open another one.
Jesus. Make sure you guys go, man. You can get it from Tesco Express. You can get it from Pure Gyms. If you go gym, please tell me you're going gym. Summer's coming.
Yes.
Amazon.co.uk. And for those, we got about 6 flavors, 5 to 6 flavors. And for those we got more than 4. And for those of you watching live, click the link below to check out Amazon's exclusive discounts. Be quick, as Celsius won't be on discount for long. So you guys, make sure you guys hit them up on the way out. You know what I'm saying?
Exam season now as well, man. You know what I mean? You're going to need them energy drinks to stay up late. You know what I mean? Listen, think about it. Would you rather have a nasty coffee in the morning or a nice Celsius?
Well, listen, man. And you know the summer's coming, so the Celsius is going to be increasing as well. So you
I mean, you can use it as a mixer.
Let's share, subscribe.
The Celsius with the Lebronacy.
Algorithm. We'll be back still. Like, share, subscribe. We appreciate all the support.
Please.
Smash the like button on the way out. We'll be back soon.
We love you.
Give me a hell yeah.